Welcome to the Philosophy for Philistines channel on this March the 16th, where we're going to speak about cancel culture. Cancel culture is nothing other than a demand that we not stray from established postmodern orthodoxies. It is an attempt to identify and demonize the other, then tee off on them. Cancel culture is therefore a metastasizing mental pathogen which must be made into an idea that only cretins will engage in. Cancel culture is a fascistic impulse cloaked in robes of progressive utopia. However, we must allow idiots to exist in the public sphere so that we can defeat their idiocy with better ideas. Postmodern cancel culture creates areas of forbidden knowledge, which is a grotesque perversion of open inquiry. 40 to 50 years of mental pathogens stemming from the academy have made their way downstream into mainstream society, which are causing us to lose our ability to make sense of the world. It is creating a society of complete intellectual terrorism. If we keep subcontracting our voices to others, we will lose this struggle. But if we develop the testicular fortitude to speak out, we will win. This is trench warfare. We must activate our voices for good, because we can all affect change in the small sphere of our own lives. We must return to first principles in reasoning, because we are facing a pusillanimous cowardice infecting our society, where common folks see there is a dire problem but refuse to speak out against it. Cancel culture is literally an anti-Darwinian mind pathogen, an anti-evolutionary scrubbing of all contrary opinions, which is creating a weak and pathetic society. It has taken modern man a giant leap in evolutionary progress to create a society where there could possibly be individuation. Perhaps it started with the Greeks and then further developed, of course, by Christianity, in its placing man in the primary position of each of us having to have a personal relationship with God and being responsible to God. Individuation was further developed in the Renaissance, in the age of humanism, and on into the age of enlightenment, where our modern philosophical ideas of government based on the sovereign individual were perfected. And of course, into the great revivals, such as Methodism, which made Christianity a very, very personal matter. All of these things have served to create the foundations for individuation, which did not exist in more primitive cultures. In more primitive cultures, a tribal awareness was the only thing that existed. And because evolutionary biology will always favor the trait that is most successful, we find limited constitutional democracy and the belief in individual liberty at greater risk now than ever. Because cancel culture is an attempt to return us to a more primitive and tribal state, which is why it invariably practices identity politics, to recreate a tribal sense of self, where you have no identity, but your identity is only associated with your in-group. These are all idea pathogens. And since the new idea of individuation is so new, It is something that is not yet been evolutionary tested. From what I can see happening now, this is the greatest test that noble idea has ever faced. Can we continue to be individuals and sovereign, or will we once again return to tribal identity, tribal politics, infighting, and us versus them mentality? These are the great questions that face us today. And because I believe in individuation, they're up to you to solve, and to me, and to speak to your neighbor, to your family and your friends, and talk about the importance of individual liberty. Hope you're having a great day. These are all things to pray about. God bless you, and we'll see you again right back here at the Philosophy for Philistines channel. Subscribe, ring the bell, and share.